What up, everybody? Hey, this is your boy Pope Cerebus out here in California. I've been away for a couple weeks, but I need to catch up. So let's see, what would I do first? Well, man, I'm really stoked about these. So let me talk about these real fast. Uh, Virgin cover, Jenny Friesen, Vampirella #1. Yeah. I'm going to set that one over here. And then this here, the Jenny Friesen Vampirella Virgin cover #3. I just want to start out with those because while I'm sure a lot of people would be happy with that situation, I just want to talk about how unlucky I always feel with the comic situation because I'd say about 6 hours after buying these, I saw an entry on eBay that had the first 6 Virgin covers, Jenny Friesen for Vampirella. The first 6 for essentially was $50 a cover. And needless to say, that was unfortunate. But hey, sometimes you suffer for your impatience. Do I call it impatience? I don't know. I've been working on these books for over a month, maybe a little bit more, and so it was really disheartening to find out that I could have had all 6 if I'd have just waited a few more hours. But once again, I bitch and I digress. Either way, booyah, check that shit out. A couple things. These are some back issues. This is the 1 in 10. They fluctuate, I think. I think this might be 1 in 15, maybe a 1 in 10 of the variant cover for Grass Kings #1. It was the only one I was missing, so I figured I had to pick that up. This one here, Red Sonja #3, J. Scott Campbell. The Weapon X, Ron Lim variant #1. Speaking of variants, #1, the really cool, who was that? Is that Kubert? Wait, who? I can't read that signature. I totally blew who the artist on this was. Drained right out of my head. Yep, that's called Preparedness. Another variant here, issue 1, Star-Lord. Another variant there, Contest of Champions. Paired that with another Contest of Champions variant I just picked up recently, so I had to do that one. Really like this cover. I think this was a 1 in 25er of issue 6, Invincible Iron Man. Let's see. Yeah, I've been doing all the variants on Astonishing because they're really cool. And so is this Granoff number, what is this, 3? 4? 4. Issue 4. Speaking of Jenny Friesen, Guardians of Nowhere. I don't know, you see her covers sometimes pop up on the weirdest titles and the weirdest stuff, but hey, there you go. Future Imperfect. Not a tough book, but I always kind of like that cover. So I picked that one up. What is this? 1 in 25, last issue of Darth Vader, the first series. Sadly, I'm sporadic on the new series. Because that brings me to this whole thing, man. I've been Marvel to me, I've all but dropped. I can't think of any Marvel stuff. I'll get into that in a minute. These are some filler issues in my run of Scalped. What was that? That was issue 10. That one for sure. That was issue 14. Was an upgrader. And then this miraculously, fantastically awesome cover to Scalped 19. That brings my total to, I think, 5 issues left to pick up an entire Scalped run. Anyway, look, Marvel. That's what I was just saying, man. Um, you know, Jenny Friesen, 166, Black Panther. I've been picking up 3 copies on that one just because I dig it. Anyway, Marvel, I don't know what the deal is. I just find myself, I don't know. I collected for a long, long time, and I could have at one time been categorized as a Marvel zombie, meaning I bought anything Marvel, just give it to me, I want it. Well, as you can see by that last Punisher issue, primarily for Garth Ennis, last issue of Jeff Lemire's Thanos, cool cover there. Issue Thor, right before issue 700, the War Thor and Jane Foster. I mean, these are the titles that I'm buying because the stories are pretty good. And so this is me saying I'm not buying Marvel anymore. When I say I'm not buying Marvel anymore, that means I'm only buying about 10 titles. So Weapon X has been pretty good. Really like that story. I also bought the lenticular Incredible Hulk. I don't know. I only bought a few of the lenticulars, and that was just one that I thought was pretty solid. You know, like I said, I feel like that I, in some ways, get the right to slag on Marvel for all the years and years that I bought them, but I don't know, man. I'm just not buying the Marvel stuff lately. There's so many good things out there. It just, I don't know. Speaking of, what do I do next? Let me do Image. Let me do Image. For God, this is so slapdashery, I can't stand it. But that's all right. I got to do it, and I got to do it in one. All right, here we go. Image. Black Science. Okay, Rick Remender. Does a lot. Probably one of my more favorite series there. Deadly Class. Also, glad I got this particular cover. Really dig this. Also, I think he says right there on his shirt, corporate comics suck. That's what I'm going to believe it says. But anyway, Deadly Class. Issue 31, I want to say. Anyway. Speaking of Lemire, Descender. Right in the middle, Rise of the Robots story. That was issue 25? 25? I thought there were more issues than that. But hey, I'll take any ones I get because Descender was pretty sweet. One of my favorite creators, Hickman, Jonathan. Hickman, Jonathan. The Dying and the Dead. Man, this series, if you just crack the pages, you'll be like, wow, this is amazing. Same guy right now who's putting out Black Monday Murders. Probably another one of my favorite books out there. Gosh, that book's deep, man. It's like a movie, you know, when you can't be like distracted, you have to really focus and like watch a movie to like catch it all. Yeah, Black Monday Murders. Gasolina. Quick comment here on like variants, by the way. Gasolina, it was a cool cover, but here's the thing. Down the line, I'm going to see like a store variant or some other thing on Gasolina number 2 or something like that. Or like Realm was another good one. You know, cool covers for the regular issues, and then you see a couple like special store variants, and you're just like, wow, I like that one. So that makes me want to like chase these crazy variants. But I don't know. I find that my biggest problem with variants, and let me be very clear, I'm not saying variant collectors, because I am a variant collector, I would say. I'm also a complete run collector. I'm also like a high grade near mint collector. I mean, I'm extreme, which is probably why it was so tough and soul searching these last few weeks when people were saying or asking, you know, are you having fun collecting? Do you like, you know, what you're doing? And Oh, I've had so many frustrating stories lately. I think my last 4 eBay purchases have all ended in refunds. And you know how fun that can be. Glitter Bomb, the Fame game, number 2. Brian Steel Freeze on these hard place books. Even if I didn't like these Steel Freeze covers, I collect covers that have skulls on them. So big ups to that one. The biggest problem I have, I want to finish this variants thought, is variants back in the early days of collecting. There was fairly rare that you would come across an actual variant on a book. If it wasn't like what they used to call, like error variants and stuff like that, it was pretty rare. You'd find 2 printings of a book or something like that. Or even the A and B style that DC likes to use right now. Kill or Be Killed, by the way. Fantastic issue 13 of a great series. But nowadays, it would be cool, like, to chase variants and stuff like that, except for the fact that this last week, I think it was, or if not Wednesday yesterday, but a week ago Wednesday, there were like 4 or 5 Delato variants, and that was just one artist. I mean, it's just getting crazy. Not that people are trying to collect variants, but that they're all over the place. Like this right here. This kind of actually makes me upset. I didn't really want the Walking Dead variant of the cover of this, but I don't know. I may have been distracted. I go to the comic stores during my lunch break, and I'm just frantically trying to grab all these really hard to find books. Speaking of Realm, that was a great cover to the A. Really dig the cover. Jeff Lemire to the B. Bought 2 copies. And Retcon number 2. This seems pretty interesting. I was waiting to see what it developed into, and this was a good second issue. I had to search forever before I could find a Saga that wasn't completely torn up. I must have seen 30 or 40 issues of Saga with like not just one, but like 10, 12 kinks all the way down the spine at several shops that I went to. But I did manage to find one. Opeña's cover on Shirtless Bear Fighter. This is the last issue. I think it was a 5 issue. Anyway, that's been cool. Speaking of cool, good God, what a great cover to Spawn. It was chilling. It was nuts. Normally, as I may have mentioned, that I was really only collecting the black and white versions of the Spawn book, but I didn't even know that they were going to do a black and white till I saw it at like a shop I went to last night. I didn't buy it yet because it was kinked up, so I'm going to find a good one. They Are Not Like Us, just a series F from Image. And I always like those crazy Image series. Speaking of, here's another one. Violent Love. Kind of reminds me a little bit of like some Stray Bullets. So because I like the Stray Bullets, I give that one a shot. And then finally from Image, I didn't buy Walking Dead the previous week, so I picked it up this week. Anyway, so what I was saying about the variants and stuff like that is, I think in some ways that's what's getting difficult right now, is the sheer amount of variants that are being put out there. Yeah, it's just getting crazy. Uh-oh. Not the drum set. Sorry, I'm a one-hander here. I'm actually, tripods, steady cams. What's that? I'm shooting these crazy one and dones while holding the phone, managing books that are in bag only. Anyway, let me finish off some of these. This is my DC run stuff. Aquaman, Batgirl. Admittedly, not reading Batgirl, but those last few Middleton covers have been really cool, so I've been on that. Didn't buy the other cover, just bought this version, Koipel's Batman 33. Maybe one of the best books DC's putting out. Detective. Yeah, side note, I'm not reading Metal. I think I got the first issue, but I haven't gotten anything since. I got the Teen Titans tie-in one just as a key, but that's about it. Reading Detective. I'm reading Flash, issue 33 as well. That's a Metal tie-in, so I guess I just contradicted myself. 2 copies of this cool Harley Quinn, probably the coolest cover in a while. You know, that's a straight iconic one right there. So that's cool. Once again, a lot of hope holding out for Senor Miracle, issue 3. I was pretty cool with that series, hoping it does well. Pays off, I mean, not just does well like in sales. Super Sons, I am still reading the Super Sons, but not reading Superman right now, which I know kind of is getting in there with the Super Sons. Wonder Woman, any excuse for Jenny Friesen to draw a horse. I think we got some issues there. A couple back issues also, just a detective back issue, 936. James Tinian on that, but I don't know if there's anything significant. It was just in good shape. And then last but not least, a couple Alex Gardner, Wonder Woman's end of that run. I do not have the last issue Alex Gardner, but I am looking, obviously, like y'all are. This one here, that's a pretty cool cover in the meantime. Also that cover where Alex Gardner is, the 2 Wonder Womans are like clashing or facing each other, the white cover. That's a great one. Alright, hold on to your hats. This is all the independent-y stuff. Unsound. Holy smokes, this book, you better zip tie your head on, because this book is nuts. Cullen Bunn, I don't know, probably one of the craziest, and that's saying a lot, because Cullen Bunn is like writing like every other book right now, but Unsound, crazy book. One of my faves, Rebels. Art kind of sliding, but this is almost over. Just another mini-series run. The Founding of America. Wow, look at me. I'm collecting Rick and Morty again. I was lucky. I got Rick and Morty the first 6 issues. And then I just stopped inexplicably. I don't know why. Sisters of Sorrow, the variant. Man, I was so happy to score this. I've gotten all the others. The very last issue, number 4. Also have the A cover to that. I've been getting both covers of the Sisters of Sorrow. Looking forward to reading it now. I was kind of waiting till I got them all to throw that down. Fujitsu number 2. That's a really cool cover. I got the issue 1. I leafed through that. Looks pretty cool. Wouldn't be Pope Cerebus unless I blindly bought anything Cerebus that came out. This is crazy, and I don't necessarily recommend it per se. I would recommend someone rather going and reading Cerebus, like the first 150 issues, or the big phone books. Yeah. Otherwise, there's a couple other runs towards the end of that might be worth reading, but be careful. Last issue, Aberatu. Totally cool. Really like this. I'm going to give a report on that one soon, because that's a really good premise on that, and that was the last issue. By the way, I missed that, so I had to go find that one too. Lark's Killer, Bill Willingham, is kind of putting something cool together, and hope to God This is better than Fables. I'm looking at it right now, and interior art says, I don't know. Lazaretto from Boom Studios #2. Yeah, Lazaretto. Another one here. I'm so glad I put this on my pull list at a particular store. I don't do pull lists, by the way. I go in and I get my own books. I don't know why, but I have so many issues with people and comic store shop owners and stuff like that. I don't want them to pull my books because I don't want them to, pull ones I don't like they're all messed up and stuff. I don't know. I just get really weird. Misbegotten Nun. I went back, circled back around, and picked up this one. And I still, even though it was there, I ignored the Marilyn Monroe one. I don't know why. Just this one here was a cool cover. I don't know. Department H. This series is crazy. This is Matt Kint, known for Mind Management and Royal City. Does he do Grass Kings too? God, these guys are crazy, man. They're pulling out these amazing stories, one after another. So there you go. Animosity, #10. I haven't been getting any of the side series stuff, but the main title's good enough. Admittedly, Heartthrobs from Onai. I think it's one of the few Onai books I get. Rick and Morty actually is Onai too, but I don't know. I just got this one because the first series I picked up, and I thought, what the heck. Plus, it's a rain cover. I might have to write that one down. Man, a book I was really happy to find. Someone actually held this one for me. Invernacht, the issue 1. Never saw the variant on that one, but apparently that's a big deal. Graveland #2. The print run on this I saw was like minuscule. So I'm really hoping this one pans out too. This one here, Sisters of Sorrow. This is the third one. This is the third variant. I had to search till I circled around on that one. Also another one that kind of jumped out as, I missed this one, but I did manage to find Normandy Gold #4. This is from Hardcase, Division of Titan. Jeez, I don't know. What do you say? I got a soft spot for, I don't even know, lobotomies. This Frank Quietly, I don't know. I'm gonna give it a shot, but I don't even want to justify that cover. What the heck? Also, in addition, like I said, I'm going 2 copies of the Lion Forge stuff, because this Ghost Money is really cool. And I hate to say, but the interior art is astounding. It's very, very good. Story about all the mountains of money that were perhaps made on the back of tragedy, and this woman who's being followed by U.S. troops and trying to find out who she goes and sits with and talks to, and then they're gonna, I don't know. Just check it out. It's cool. Ghost Money. A couple back issues, last here. Last issue, Rachel Rising from Terry Moore. Always like Terry Moore. His Motor Girl series is coming to an end soon, but I might be working on the Rachel Rising run coming up here. Also, last but not least, issue 12, Vampirella, Jenny Friesen. This is also in one of those Virgin versions, I think. And these Virgins, apparently they only had 50 copies each. So, like I said, I'm real stoked to have this. And then, last but not least, or maybe not last, I might still rave and rant beyond this, but let's take a look. I pulled this out as my special book of this video because of Thor 700, Adam Hughes. Had a really horrible back and forth situation many times on this book. There was me calling a comic store, asking them if they were getting. I mean, many stores didn't even get the book itself because they weren't going to order 100+ Thors just to get one or whatever the Marvel asked you to qualify. Anyway, called several stores. No, 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 no. Finally called one store. Yes, we're getting some in, but they're already sold. And I was like, all right, whatever. So the next day, it was Wednesday, I go in after the night before, kind of Hail Mary winning an auction on eBay. The Tuesday night. Tuesday morning, I get a message saying that the book was damaged and it might be 2 weeks before it's replaced. Did I want a refund? And I said, yeah. So I had a refund in the works, but you know that's not automatic. So I go to my comic store on Wednesday afternoon, the same guy I called, and there he has Thor 700 sitting behind the counter. And I said, hey, so what? I thought those were all sold. He says, yeah, one of the guys backed out and he pulled this, so it's available. But I didn't have the money to buy it because I was waiting on the other thing. Anyway, lost out there. Lost out with the damage on Thor 700. There was another place that had one. It was $100, and I walked in, and the guy walking in front of me walked right up to the counter and said, "Oh, I want that one," and literally bought it right before me for $100. Couldn't believe it. Long story short, I don't know, just the schlep rock of comic collecting. But anyway, I hope everyone's been gazing at this because this is probably one of my favorite covers of Thor ever. And needless to say, this is a serious near mint copy of Thor 150. Hella sucking the soul right out of Thor. I'm a huge Thor fan. I'm stoked because in a few days the movie will be coming out. And Hela is one of my favorite all-time villainesses. And so I just wanted to put this out here because instead of me having my Thor 700 in the middle there, I figure I at least have one Thor with Hela on the cover. All right, well, there you go, man. That's a half hour. I'm sorry, guys, but I hope everyone waded through that and saw through the madness to really see what's going on. Big shout outs, man. I just want to say to Tito, I liked your videos recently about, you know, your year and whatnot on YouTube and how it all came together and the way your family kind of keeps you grounded and helps you out, man. Rock on. Obviously all the main guys across YouTube, I don't know. Good luck, man. Comic collecting is a tough gig, and sometimes it can be frustrating for many different reasons. But after all is said and done, I mean, bam, you get to come and read and look at these kind of books that are just, I don't know, man, inspirational. Not just for their rarity or their content or their look, but for their ability to communicate inside you, touch stuff that's important. I'm going to leave with crazy controversial thing, but not to slag off on superheroes, but man, there's some really good stories in comics that have not a thing to do with superpowers or tights or any of that nonsense. But as you can see, I'm kind of shifting more away from that type of genre and really trying to get more into the low print indie stuff again. So, hey, that's how I roll, and I can't wait to see what you guys have. All right, Pope Service, peace out.